Disclaimer. The characters and situations in this presentation are fictional. Any similarity to real people or events is just a coincidence. Some images or references used are under fair use for educational purposes only. This project is not for profit, and we respect all copyrights. Thank you for understanding.
Hello and welcome. Our virtual student from English Dashboard Level Online, currently in tutoring with our excellent instructor, Carlos Spaniel. Two are web-based in this argumentative debate activity were all together as a remote time. Our group is Midnight and Claudia, John, and me, Salazar. This activity is called argumented master. Our word present is Andrade-San episode. I was a fictional person. People 11 so called C+. Audience enjoy the effort, dedication of creativity and fun into it. May 2025 argument style.
Z plus the premise. Preparation for win is your mind workout. The argument is your competition.
Song. Your host here at C+, where we make every moment count. In this episode, Ian and Troy because of has to amazing guys. John, Atara and Netis from Google, or Claudia, a wellness manager, Amazon. They took a little time from their busy schedule to stitch us there. And Max stays to always unless argument. Personally, I don't like arguments. I try to stay away from them, but sometimes that is possible to avoid. So today we learn from the expert how to deal with the situation better. Now, let's begin.
Hi, I'm John. It's a pleasure to be here and share some of my personal strategies for dealing with discussion. First of all, in life, you always need a strategy, even for this kind of situation. So, I follow three main ideas. First, avoid commenting. That to say, don't tie yourself to anything unless it's really help your world. Stay free, stay flexible, and keep control. Second, never show weakness. Even if you feel unsure, don't let it show. Speak with confidence. Speak with speak with purpose. And three, uh, had a strong, a clear proof to support your argument. I completely agree to Robert Greene's book, 48 Laws of Power. According to him, you always had to take the control of the situation and destroy the other person's argument completely so they cannot say anything back.
Hello, I'm Claudia. Sorry, Jean. I would argue that. I don't agree with your strategy. I respect your point of view, but I think it's dangerous and double edged, only focus on winning. According to your opinion, you said we must take control and destroy the other person's arguments. But I think that if you try to win like that, you can hurt susceptibilities. On the contrary, when people feel attacked, they close their hearts and will not accept your ideas. They will try to defend themselves at all costs, and they will become aggressive, making the situation worse. Or maybe they can take a different stance, be silent, wait, and take revenge against you when you least expect it. Instead of forcing your ideas, you can guide people gently. Help them think that your idea is logical and does no harm to anyone. This is not weakness, it's smart, it is empathy. When people feel respected, they listen our ideas and they open their mind and heart, but when they feel attacked, they will reject any idea that is presented to them.
Claudia, I completely agree with you about how to approach a discussion. I also agree with you that empathy and respect are important. However, there are many situations you can always find a win-win agreement. In my opinion, the problem is even if you make a fair deal, there is no guarantee that the other side will keep their part. So, so is that why I ask you to consider make making sure you win first. A good example is Nicholas Tesla. He trusted in Thomas Edison and he was betrayed the worst way. We cannot afford that. Make sure you win first.
Excuse me, Sean, but I definitely can agree with your point of view. In my opinion, I refuse to think only about my own benefits. My final recommendation is to follow Dell's philosophy, which focuses only in a win-win solution. That is all I have to say to. That's how you build real trust and real empathy. Let me give you an example. According to the Bible, Samson was a very strong man. He thought no one could defeat him. But Delilah, a woman without principles, with a really bad intention, she wanted Samson to lose his strength. And waiting for the right moment, she planned everything carefully. She was smart, she was patient, and when she had the chance, she achieved her goal. So yes, Sean, in my opinion, you can win by force, by brilliant strategies, but you will have gained an enemy that one day could destroy you, like Samson, who destroyed all his enemies when he regained his strength. Therefore, my recommendation is to try to follow Adele Carnegie's ideas. According to his point of view, we must be kind, be respectful, and we must use empathy to truly change minds, not just win for the sake of winning.
I really understand your view, but in real life, even it sounds nice, people are for their own benefit, so they won't hesitate to betray you, even those you love. My experience showed this, and is also explained in the laws of human nature by the scientist Robert Greene. That is why I say protect your own interest first, always, without exception.
Sorry, I think it's time to conclude. It seems to me that both are right. But I'd like to add my point of view. As Sun Tzu said, the best victory is the one where you don't destroy your opponent. This is from his book The Art of War. I consider that I won't need to run away from arguments anymore. I believe it's the same for all of us. If we handle them better, If we find the balance, respect others without hurting their ego, and make the result good for everyone, like Claudia said, it will be much easier. On the other hand, without giving up our own interests, like Joan explained, we can still win. Therefore, in my opinion, even though both of you have a valid point, I strongly believe we must find harmony. We should aim to argue smarter. As Sun Tzu said, the best fight is the one you win without destroying the other. I want to give an example to make this clearer, because the arguments seem very different. I have a teenage son. He told me he wanted to be a psychologist. If I had known what I know now, I would have approached the situation differently. I wouldn't have imposed my ideas on him, but I would have still defended my interest, which is for him to have a career that actually makes money.
Right now, there are more psychologists than the market needs, and many of them end up earning a very low salary, sometimes even the minimum wage. This doesn't make sense when you think about the time and money invested in this career. So, instead, having forced my idea, I could have reached a win-win agreement with him, and I would have told him that I could pay for a programming course, because I know that field is growing fast, and won't be replaced by AI. And so, in the near future, with good financial resources, he could be paid the career of his dreams. Of course, there are exceptions, like Claudia, who is a psychologist and works at Amazon. But, as we all know, exceptions don't make the rule. Thanks to both of you. My final thought is if this kind of argument ever comes up again, I will know how to deal with it effectively. And I think it's the same feeling of the audience.
We don't want to finish without first to tell thank you so much, dear Professor Charles. We've really learned a lot from you. Sean, Sol, and me, we are so grateful for your guidance, and we appreciate the time you take to provide feedback on each task. We hope you have a wonderful day, and we bless you.